Hey, what's going on, my fellow people of the internet, and welcome back to World of Tanks gameplay reviews, which is pretty much me looking back at replays and commentating on them, etc. I pretty much commentate, and I don't talk about stats because I'm not good enough to talk about stats because I don't know enough about stats. And today, we are doing a gameplay review on the VK... This isn't the VK101P, this is the Mäuschen, which is pretty much the VK101P, but better. Now, if you didn't see my VK101P gameplay review, you may be interested in hearing that the VK101P was, and still is, my favorite tank, my favorite heavy tank tier for tier in the game. And this thing is pretty much it all over again. So I absolutely love this grind, and I have the mouse now, and I gotta say, it's kinda disappointing. It's not nearly as good as I'd hoped. I think it's just because of the tier 10, and the fact that it has to face against Jaegers and 183s and 005s and stuff like that, but still, we're not talking about the mouse, we're talking about the Mäuschen, and I just wanted to upload a video on this because I had sold the mouse, and I really, really wanted to get this video out before anything else. So, well then, I was about to talk about what the alpha damage on this gun was, but I can't really talk about it if I'm just going to go around ammo racking things. That was 1,304 damage in the first minute and a half of the game. So as you can see, this Mäuschen is very, very slow. It's going 20 kilometers per hour at its top speed limit. It does reach that top speed, but it's still extremely painful. We're 2 minutes into the game now, and I'm still not into the town, which is the position I was trying to get to the entire time. Now we do have XVM installed, so we can see that our team has very, very good tier 10s, and their team has very, very good tier 10s as well. And most of the very, very good players went down south, so I'm just going to be up here playing against all of the average players, such as myself. Now we decide to go into the town because the town is the best place for this tank, because if you are caught out in the open in this thing, it's going to go very, very poorly for you. As if you get surrounded, it's too slow to be able to fight off multiple opponents, so you want to keep your opponents at mid to short range. And if you're going to face after them multiple at a time, you want to have some backup so that they don't try to outflank you. Now I put one shot into the defender, another high roll, that's 528. The average damage per shot on this gun is 490. But the main thing I love about this tank is the armor. I have so much faith in this armor that I'm completely fine with just driving out into the middle of the open right now. I am extremely confident defender. Bounces, but he bounces off of me. Now, as you can see, after I took the shot, I've angled my turret so that it would face along with the rest of the tank. So now, all of my tank is angled at the same time. Because of how flat this is, you have to angle the tank for it to be very effective as I take out the defender there. So between shots, you have to angle your turret back so that it's much, much more likely for you to bounce shots in return, as you will be at a steeper angle. Now, that also helps cover the weak points of this tank. And the weak points of this tank are almost the exact same on the as on the VK101P, as it is pretty much the exact same design. Now, weak point number one, and the most obvious, is the lower plate. It's the flattest part, and it's the easiest to penetrate. Even tier 8s are able to pretty easily penetrate that part of the vehicle. Really quick. I bounced a shot off the 228. But I decide to ignore them and go bully these tier 8 and 9 heavy tanks that are trapped in a corner here. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. The other weak point on this tank is the cheeks, because if you don't angle the cheeks, it's extremely flat and most tanks will be able to penetrate you. The 110 is firing HE at me. I'm just going to bully him out back into this corner now. I'm angling my turret, but it won't really do too much as he is firing high explosive. I put a shot into the Emil too. The 110 completely misses me, even though I'm that big of a target. He was actually aiming for my cupola there, which is weak point number 3. The cupola on this thing is what is the big difference between this and the mouse, because the mouse does not have this cupola. They pretty much have the exact same armor profiles except for this cupola on top. Now the cupola, if it's able to be hit at a flat angle, I believe has about 230 millimeters of armor. So you could call it a weak point, but you have to use weak point a little loosely. The only reason that this is actually a weak point is it's because that's the only part of the tank that you can't actually angle. Everywhere else in the tank you can easily angle by, of course, angling your turret, hiding the cheeks, and angling the front of the hole so you're able to hide your lower plate with a building or something like that. However, the cupola on top, you can't really angle that. So the only way to counter people penetrating you in the cupola is to move back and forth. So if you're side scraping, you got to keep moving back and forth so that people won't have easy shots on your cupola. Because if you give them easy shots on your cupola, that's almost always what they're going to go for. Now, I should probably start commentating on the game. So our best players on our team in Tier 10 heavy tanks and their best players in Tier 10 heavy tanks collided. Unfortunately, their Tier 10s won. However, us average Joes in the top beat up their average Joes. So we were winning 8-7, but they just quickly took 2 more kills from us, 3 more kills from us. Now we're losing 8-10, but I was able to do 3,503 damage while I was in the town there. Now, I was trying to type in chat here to see if the rest of the team would be able to fall back and get to base, because I didn't really want to attack, because if we attacked, we would overextend. And the M103, who's the other Tier 9 heavy tank on our team, is pushing out into the middle of the open, and I get really nervous. Excuse me. At the T175, oh, unfortunately, that would have been a really nice shot to have hit. That the T125 and the FV215B would have isolated him, but it turns out that everyone on their team went back to defend, and they have taken out everyone who pushed out of the town and into them. Now there's only 4 of us left versus the 7 on their team. And if I had hit that 1390, it would have been a lot useful later. No spoilers, but you will see later that 1390 is going to be very annoying. Now I type in chat again, M103 don't get isolated. And I'm trying to talk as much as possible, guys, because in the Mäuschen, with 20 km/h top speed, it's not really going to be, I'm not going to have all that much to commentate about all the time. I take a crazy blind shot, hoping that I would be able to kill the 1390 there. TVP is spotted in our base by the M103. I go over the ridge, look for a shot on him. Oh, that was actually a low roll for 463. And now I have to suffer through a 12-second reload, I believe it is, even with gun rimmer and a full crew. Unfortunately, I got spotted by, I believe, the TVP. Either that or it was the 1390. Nope, the 1390 was actually over there, so there's no way he would have been able to spot me. I turned my frontal armor in that direction, but I see that the Object 416 was hit by something a lot bigger than the 1390, so I'm a little bit scared that their heavy tanks are going to be sitting over in these sectors here. Our Object 416 is taken out, which means it's just me and the M103 versus 6? Yeah, I can do math. 6 enemies. T125 spots me again. I have a shot on him. I aim. He pens me on the move. Let's see where that shot actually went in. Yep, right through the turret cheeks. I was pointing my turret at him to be able to aim a shot into his lower plate. He fires on the move, hits my turret cheeks, very luckily for him, and manages to pen me. Now, however, I missed a shot on the T-54A1, but now the T-125 actually fired heat there, but because I wasn't angling my turret directly at him, he could not penetrate that shell. Now I see the 1390 is pushing me, and I trust the M103 to be able to take him out, and he actually does. But all these the rest of these tanks are a lot smarter than that AMX 1390. They're not extending enough for the M103 to get shots on them. I try to angle for the FV215B, but unfortunately he pens me. Now I'm trying to angle for the T110E5. I bounce the T110E5, but the FV215B pens me again. I put a shot into the T110E5. I'm up to almost 5,000 damage and 3,000 damage blocked. And that's when the FV215B takes me out. And the FV215B was actually penning with AP shells, which was kind of surprising for me that he wasn't firing gold there, because almost everything fires gold when they find a baby mouse like this. Alright, we're back with the second game, this time on Tundra, and I'm about to show you guys the absolute best scenario for the Mäuschen. Top tier game. They have a Mäuschen as well, and again, top tier game. Now in the mouse, you will always be top tier, tier 10. However, when you get tier 10, you're going to be facing off against other tier 10s, and those tier 10s have really, really high penetration guns, which means that your armor you have to use extremely effectively to be able to bounce all of those tier 10 guns. But in the Mäuschen is a tier 9 tank, which means it gets tier 9 matchmaking, which means it faces tier 7s. And you have mouse armor at facing tier 7s. It's a little bit crazy. Pretty much the only way a tier 7 is going to pen you is by firing APCR rounds from the back. Can you imagine a light tank trying to pen this thing from the back at tier 7? It's just absolutely insane. And the Mäuschen, if it's a smart driver, is not going to let you get behind it very easily. And as we're about to find out, it can hold off a corner like crazy. We are going to have almost half, if not half, the entire enemy team on this flank. So far, we've already spotted a T-34, an AMX-65T, a Mäuschen, a Jagdtiger. Those tanks are all going to be coming down this side. Mäuschen and Jagdtiger. Jagdtiger has I'm pretty sure the highest penetration gun at tier 9, if not the Stridsvagn 1030. But it's got very, very high penetration, and I'm going to have to deal with that if I want to be able to win this corner. However, I do have a lot of backup. An IS-3 who's already on 69 health because... Oh, nope, that 69 health is gone. Now it's just me and 3 tier 7 heavy tanks versus a T-34, an AMX-65T, an IS-6, a Mäuschen, a Jagdtiger, and I believe we're going to be joined later by an IS, an IS-2, and an ONI, if possible. Anyway, in the meantime, I'll bounce a shot where the green penetration indicator shows. Bounce a shot from the AMX-65T. He's actually firing gold shells already, and I'm sure he's going to continue firing gold shells. However, with my angled turret armor and this hill blocking my lower plate in front of me, I have nice angles. Put a shot into the IS-6. That's 548 damage. I'm up to 300 damage blocked. And now the T-34 is going around me, gives up on trying to pen me, and instead completely overextends to try to put a shot into my tier 7 friend. I punish him for it, though, taking out the T-34. And they're still firing at the tanks behind me. Now there's the Jagdtiger. I'm a little bit scared of the Jagdtiger. The AMX-65T doesn't have anything else to shoot at, so he's going to put a shot into me. Where's that actually pen? That shot was a miss, the shot I just fired. He actually penned straight through my... and I check right there. I check just to make sure where he penned me. I see that he penned through my cheeks, so I angle my cheeks a little bit more, so that it'll be a lot harder for him to pen me. But here comes the Mäuschen, and I see a Mäuschen, and I'm going to start loading some APCR shells soon. First, I'm still angling. All you can see up here on that penetration, on that ammo indicator is all gold shells. I missed my shot on the Mäuschen's cheeks. The Mäuschen on their team, however, is not angling correctly. He's pointing his turret directly at me, even when he's reloading. I put a shot into the IS-6. I'm actually not loading any APCR shells here, which passed me. I was kind of surprised by that. The AMX-65-2 puts another shot into me. I reload, and I don't have another shot on him, so I look for the Mäuschen, which bounces, because the Mäuschen has ridiculously good armor, even when it's not angling correctly. Now the Mäuschen's looking for another shot on me. He's actually going to push all the way through. I try to angle as best I can against him, and he's actually going for my IS-2 friend. Or not. Nope, he's bounced off my lower plate, I believe. Now I try to pull back, and now here comes the push. All of their tanks are pushing in on us. An IS-2 and a Mäuschen. I put, in a second here, I bounce a shot on the Mäuschen. I pull back, I angle my turret along with my pull. Mäuschen's looking for another shot. He bounces. I'm up to 4,240 damage blocked. The Mäuschen's peeking over. I have an easy shot on his lower plate. Pen his lower plate. Pull back again and turn. Angle my turret and my hull again. This AMX-65T, I can see from before, is still loading APCR shells. The IS-6 is looking for a shot. I put a shot into him. Angle my turret. He bounces off the turret. I now face the Mäuschen and the AMX-65T. The Mäuschen is moving forwards, but he's moving sideways. And I have some amazing support fire behind me from the ISU-152, the Stridsvagn, and artillery is an absolutely helps me out here. The MX-65T, in desperation to get into cover from those helpers from the back, allows me to put an easy shot into him as he has to overextend. Now the IS-6 is looking for a shot on my side. Unfortunately, I cannot angle in time. However, he does low roll. So I angle for the Mäuschen again, but the Mäuschen gets taken out by my awesome supporting fire, which means I can pull rack and put a shot into the IS-6. Now I'm up to 3,455 damage, 5,720 damage blocked, and 513 assistance damage from just tracking enemies. And this was an absolutely amazing game, and I'm really, really excited by this point. So I just started driving forwards. I compliment my amazing support from these guys. The artillery says affirmative, and I give them a little heart. Because I really appreciate it when my team is actually supporting me, especially in these heavy tanks. Because if you get outflanked, as I said before, and you saw with all those heavy tanks, those tier 10 heavy tanks from last game, you can be in a bit of trouble. But oops, here comes a Jagdtiger. Jagdtiger's shot goes into my tracks, and now I start loading any second now. I believe after this next shot, I angle my armor again. And now what you'll see me do a lot is when I angle my armor, he takes out the Oni behind me. When I angle my armor, I will be moving my turret over to exactly where I want it to, and then I will be holding the right mouse button so I can look while still having that turret angled. Now I'm loading the APCR shells, which mean I can put a shot straight into a superstructure, just like that. And now you'll see even when I aim my turret back, I'm going to be wiggling back and forth, so it's harder for him to snipe my cupola. He's looking for a shot on me. I believe he's aiming for my cupola now. I'm holding my right mouse button so my turret stays angled until I'm reloaded, which means I can take him out. And now that's 4 kills. 4,185 damage, 6,840 damage blocked, 513 assistance damage, and almost all of those shells, as you could see from the top here, were gold shells. I absolutely loved this German heavy tank line. Well, at least up to, from tier 8. The Tiger P, I hated that. It was a horrible grind. I would not recommend it. I don't know what it is with tier 7. I just don't like it very much. But after the Tiger P, boom, VK101P, absolutely amazing. Then I hit this, which I expected to be a lot worse because everyone said it was just a VK, but that got tier 9 matchmaking, but that's not true at all. It's gun, tier 10 gun. You get it on the mouse, you get it on the E100, you get it on the E75, absolutely amazing. Then, it's got the mouse's armor. All it's got is a cupola on top, which you can easily make up for by wiggling back and forth, and if they actually manage to hit it, you need a high penetrating gun to be able to go through it anyway. The lower plate, easily hidden. Cheeks, angle the turret. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this tank. All it's got is speed. But you can easily make up for that because, you know, you have teammates. At least use them. And, yeah. The last gameplay review I made was on the IKV-90B. Hated that. With the burning passion. Horrible, horrible grind. Would not recommend it. But the UDES is worth it. But still, IKV. Horrible. This thing, amazing. I bought this well after almost every single other tier 9 tank I have, and I got the mouse way before anything else. So, yep, I would completely recommend this. It's an amazing tank. Now, as we can see for this game, I got 81,384 credits and 1,856 experience with a premium account, and I was able to become top on the team with my almost 5,000 damage and 3 kills. The closest on damage to me was... Which one's damage do we have? There we go. Closest on damage to me was in the mouse, which had 2,921. And so I believe, was that double officially? It was close. It was fairly close to double of the second player on the team. While the FV215B on their team, if that guy wasn't in the game, it would have been a lot nicer. He got 5,818 damage and 8 kills. So shout out to him because he did a lot better than I did. And then in the other game, I managed to pick up a Ace Tanker First Class, a Duelist, a Fighter, a Fire for Effect, Shellproof, Steel Wall, and High Caliber, giving me 83,043 credits and 10,837 experience. I was able to destroy 4 enemy vehicles, do 4,185 damage, and block. Took 22 hits, only 5 penetrated while 17 did not penetrate, which means I blocked 6,840 damage. Almost all of those were premium shells. And I'm going to end the video there. Now, I do want to say a little announcements. If you don't really care, then you could just leave now. But little announcements about the channel. I have been posting all World of Tanks content, and I try to claim that I am not an all World of Tanks YouTuber, which I'm trying not to be. But I have been in a little bit of a World of Tanks craze recently. But soon I will be uploading other games as well, not just World of Tanks, even though I love World of Tanks. So I don't know what kinds of games yet, but I will be finding out soon, and I hopefully will be able to make even more collabs with different YouTubers, and it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, for right now, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.